Hey, this is Ash from Revolution Me. Thank you so much for watching this video on stress management. This is kind of a follow-up video to the one that I did earlier, and you can find the link to that in the description below. I wanted to address this really important, I guess it's just as important. It's a separate issue though from what I talked about in the first video, and that is about how to recognize when you're becoming stressed. Now, I'm filming this video just at the time of a big transition in our lives for our family, my little one starting daycare, starting childcare, so moving into a new chapter, a new phase of life. And yeah, there is stress involved because any life event, any major change is associated with stress. Anytime we step outside our comfort zone, we experience stress. Even for positive experiences, so having a child, getting married, moving out of home, moving in with your partner, graduating, starting school, your kids starting school, your kids graduating, all of these things involve stress. And even though they're happy events, a lot of them, they can cause us to experience some unpleasant emotions as a result of the stress anytime we step outside our comfort zone. So I want to share with you another really important tip for handling stress. Now, in the last video, I spoke about creating new strategies for yourself, a new default for yourself in order to handle stress. And what I'm talking about in this video is how to recognize when you're starting to become stressed. Now, this does take a little bit of insight, a little bit of self-insight and self-awareness. So if this is something that you're not really practiced at, then maybe it's something that you can start getting into the habit of doing yourself regularly. And it's something you can do any time of the day. You don't have to wait until you're in a stressful situation. So the trick is to take a step back from the emotional experience that you're having. And taking a step back means that instead of being embroiled in our feelings of anger or frustration, we take a step back and we distance ourselves a little bit so that we start to observe what it is that we're experiencing. Now, a great segue into doing this is becoming involved with mindfulness practices or meditation, because a huge part of mindfulness and meditation is distancing ourselves from our thoughts, so that we no longer become our thoughts, we simply become the observer of them. And the more we practice, it really is something that you just practice. And the more you practice, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you're able to apply it, even in stressful circumstances. So when we become the observer of our thoughts and our emotional experiences, we start to pick up nuances about them that we might not have noticed before. When we start to become aware of these nuances, then we can actually detect when we're starting to feel stressed before we experience the full-blown stress. So we start to get those early warning signs. Now, I've noticed for myself, when I start to get frustrated, I get a really dry mouth, really dry throat. I feel very, very thirsty. So a key for me is to remain hydrated, because it actually affects my experience of feeling frustrated. For some people, when they feel stressed, they feel very warm, or they feel sick to the stomach, or they feel butterflies in their stomach, or their heart beats really fast, or they might find themselves breathing quite rapidly and taking very shallow breaths instead of deep breaths. When we are observers of our emotional experience, we're better able to pick up on those subtle signs. And we're better able to detect when we're starting to experience them. So for me, I no longer have to experience the full-blown frustration for me to know when I'm becoming frustrated, because all I notice is, oh, hang on, dry throat. Am I feeling frustrated? Yes, I am. And I can go and I can take care of it. It's much easier to handle emotions when they're in those really early stages, rather than when they become the full-blown emotion. So it's easier to handle a little bit of an annoyance than it is to handle rage. And it's easier to handle a little bit of concern than it is to handle like a full-blown stressed out attack. Becoming aware of ourselves and our state at those early stages is crucial. And once we're aware of ourselves, then we can put into place the strategies that we've created. And again, check out the video that I've linked to below to find out more about creating those positive habits for handling stress. So the take-home message from this video is to become aware, become mindful. You don't have to meditate if that's not for you, just become mindful. Detach yourself from your immediate thinking, your immediate thoughts, and just quietly observe what it is that's going on. You can try not to have any thoughts, or if you do have thoughts, you just observe them as they roll past, kind of like a wave. The wave comes and it goes, and you're just observing the waves of your thoughts as they come and go. So let me know how you go with this. I'd love to hear your feedback on this video, or if you've got some ways that you found to be useful for managing stress, feel free to leave me a comment, and also feel free to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Ash, and I will see you in the next video.